Hello, this is
Hi.
Good Fever.
Ciao.
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 Hello.
Hello.
So this is Lívia. I'm from Minas Gerais, Brazil, and I'm gonna teach you all today this amazing recipe that is traditional from my state that is called pão de queijo. That means cheese bread. So don't be shy about the amount of cheese you put in pão de queijo. I'm going to introduce my friend Catherine from
Hello.
Rockfish.
Yes. Hello.
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 Could you find all the ingredients okay?
I had a big issue with the flour, but I ordered online, and I have to say it's quite expensive in for Germany. And but who cares? I want to try it.
Yeah, I hope maybe you can find when it's not quarantine, you can find in other shops that it's not so expensive. I hope you can repeat the recipe.
Yeah, I hope so.
Ciao, hello.
Ciao. So, hello everybody. This is Elena. This is Elena from Bergamo, and I'm so excited to do this recipe. And I'm so happy because we are going to use cheese. That is one of my favorite ingredients. So,
Yes,
let's do it.
let's do it. So for pão de queijo, we're gonna need. I gave the recipe for 1 kilo of tapioca starch, but I think we are all going to make half a recipe, right? Because it becomes so much pão de queijo. So let's make half a recipe with 500 grams of manioc starch. It's a very fine powder that can be found when you grate the manioc and separate it from the hard part, and the watery part separates in like just water and this starch. Um, in Minas Gerais, there are many fights over which kind of starch you should use because there are two basic kinds: the sweet starch and the sour starch. The sweet starch is also called tapioca flour. That is easier. I think you both bought tapioca flour because it's now in fashion because it's a gluten-free powder that you can make a pancake. It's super good for you, and it becomes a pancake without you having to add anything, eggs or anything. Just this starch and water, and you put it in the pan and it becomes a pancake. So it's a good substitute for when you can't eat gluten or you're on a special diet. But there's also the sour manioc starch that is kind of the same, the sweet one. But when you separate the water, like the water from the starch, you leave the starch there inside the water for a few days, so it becomes fermented. And this fermentation gives it
Mm.
a different characteristic to this flour. It becomes, of course, sour. This is why the taste is sour. And also, it's going to give a different texture to pão de queijo. This is why I'm going to use both, because the sweet kind, it's going to make a very soft pão de queijo that like it's really good when you eat it at the time, but if you cook them all and you want to have a breakfast tomorrow, this one with only the sweet flour is going to be almost the same. You just heat it in a little pan, and it's going to be the same. But when you use only the sour kind, it has a beautiful hard shell on the outside. It becomes a more beautiful pão de queijo, more crunchy, but inside it's too hard. So you can only eat it at the moment you bake it. The other day it becomes a rock.
Ah,
So Yeah, and the families in Brazil, they're like, we're going to try. Each family says one thing. Some families say, oh, only the sweet kind is the best pão de queijo. The other says, oh, only the sour kind is the best pão de queijo. And some families mix different amounts of both to get their favorite mixture, like their family mixture. I'm going to use half half and see what happens. My mother
Okay.
usually only uses the sour kind, but a best friend of mine only uses the sweet kind. So let's try both and see what happens. Also, the second thing is milk. I'm not gonna use milk. I'm gonna use the milk whey that comes out when I make yogurt. I made
Okay.
mascarpone for tiramisu, and this is the water that came out from the cream, the milk cream when it separates and becomes mascarpone. So it's a good way to use something that I was going to throw out, or you can also make cake with this, replacing it with milk. And you have to use the same amount of some kind of oil. I'm gonna use soy oil, or I think this is actually sunflower oil. But if you want to be, milk over milk, you can use butter, which is like the most flavorful, but also more expensive. So to me, I don't have so much butter here, but I have plenty of sunflower oil. I'm gonna use it.
So butter is
Catherine, I
expensive.
know that you're going to use butter. You're all fancy, and also
I'm
no
fancy.
lactose-free milk, right?
Okay. And how much gram
Fancy
of butter I
Catherine.
need? Huh?
Huh?
What? How much butter I need? How many grams from butter I need?
1 cup. You have to measure a half a cup because we're making half a recipe. Don't use the melted butter to measure, just like the cold butter, and measure half a cup of butter.
Okay.
So we're gonna need 2 eggs and a lot of cheese. I'm gonna use the canastra traditional cheese from Minas Gerais. I actually separated like half of this is a little bit less fresh, more hard, and I have here like a semi-aged, and that is a little bit the taste is softer. So I'm
Okay.
gonna use maybe too much. I'm not gonna put it all in the pão de queijo, but at the moment I will see. There's never enough cheese.
That's
And you,
true.
what kind of cheese are you going to use?
I use
And
the Parmigiano and I have Gouda, a mild one, a young Gouda.
That's a
So
good mix. Maybe you can use, because it's 250 grams of cheese, maybe you can use 150 of the Gouda and
yes,
100 of the Parmesan to make it
exactly. I did this.
perfect. And you, Elena?
and I'm using Parmigiano. That is exactly what I was thinking at the beginning. And I buy today this amazing, and will post some pictures. This
Oh,
amazing pecorino di Valdorcia that it's a quite fresh one, as you, Livia, suggested. I mean, it's not a fresh one, but it's a demi-fresh one. So I grated it, and it's a. I hope you can smell it. I mean, it's
I smell it.
exactly. Pecorino is great. This semi-fresh one, it's amazing, and I'm really excited to try this
Maybe
pau de queso.
if the pecorino is already so tasteful, maybe you can use only pecorino and maybe a little bit of parmesan in the end. I don't know. You can
I
see.
was thinking not to use only pecorino, also because it was my idea. I mean, at the beginning, when you say Gouda, I say, okay, maybe Gouda. I mean, in Italy, Gouda is so expensive, and we have a lot of other cheeses. So I say, okay, let's keep Gouda. And I was thinking first about Emmental, that it's not Italian, but it's sweet. And when I think pecorino, I say, okay, pecorino is great, but I need some sweet and Parmesan. Mm, it's more sweet like a taste. I mean,
Okay.
everybody think that Parmesan is salty, but depending of the aging of the Parmesan, you have different tastes. So a young Parmesan is quite sweet. Old Parmesan is really salty. So 30 month, 40, 24, 36 month is really salty, but a young Parmesan, it's like 10 months, 12 months, it's really sweet. So I decided to mix them. Maybe what you
Nice.
think? Three part of pecorino and one part of Parmesan, Livia?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea because also the canastra cheese, some kinds are sweeter and some kinds are sour, more sour, but they are all kind of salty. But they are very, there's a lot of fat in this cheese.
Mm.
So it gives it a sweet taste to the mouth. So I think maybe, yeah, like Catherine is doing, 100 grams Parmesan and 150 grams Pecorino is a good mix. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
So let's start. First, we're gonna put our liquids, and I mean the butter, or the oil, the milk, or your substitute for milk, and water. So half a cup of each, since we are making half a recipe.
Livia, may I have a look at your cup in order to understand how much is it a cup for you?
It's 120 milliliters.
And in grams?
In grams, I don't know. It's well, it's
It's okay.
120 grams of water.
It's okay. It's okay. I had a look at it, and I got it.
This is my full cup.
Yes.
I think this is, yeah, this is maybe, yeah, I don't know if it's half, but you can maybe you don't put all of the water, the watery mixture, and see what happens. And in case you need more water, you add it.
Yes, it's exactly what
120
I'm doing.
grams of water, and the same um,
Of oil.
mixture of the oil and the milk. So I'm gonna take this to
Okay.
boil.
Okay. And
As long
shall we put the fire on a high fire, Livia?
Yeah, you just want it to boil. So the faster it goes, the better.
Okay.
And meanwhile, I'm gonna measure the starch. Since I'm using half a half, I think I'm gonna use a little bit more of sour starch because I really like when the pão de queijo is crunchy on the outside.
Okay.
And we are gonna put the boiling liquids on top of the starch. So you have to have a pan that can take the heat. Otherwise, it's going to explode.
This.
Maybe you can also heat no, let's heat the oven later because it's gonna take a little while here. The thing about pão de queijo is you need also a wood spoon or some kind of spoon to mix it. Because this process that we're going to make now, that is adding boiling liquids to the manioc starch, um, it's the key to get the right texture for pão de queijo. This is the secret. If you don't do this, the pão de queijo won't be so soft, and inside it's not going to be so chewy like it's supposed to be.
So, but which kind of chemistry rules make oil, water, and milk melting together? I mean,
No, they're gonna make they are gonna melt here in the pot with the starch. So we're going
okay,
to
okay,
it's heating up the starch that is going to make the texture of the pão de queijo.
okay.
So now I have to put the butter in the milk water mix.
Butter, milk, and water. Just put it there and let it boil. And actually, this process of giving this heat shock to the starch, it's more important to the sour kind of starch. It makes a bigger difference.
Okay.
The sweet kind is affected by it, but not as much as the sour kind. It's like waking it up and making it.
Vuoi un pezzo di pecorino?
Yeah, you're going to see how what happens when you add the hot liquids. It's quite interesting.
Okay.
Um,
First, I have
and
to
how
say
are
I
you
love
girls
the cashew
while
milk and
our
the smell. I love it.
while our liquids are boiling? How are you? Do you have any doubts? What are you doing lately?
I mean, it's so interesting what's going on because at the beginning the liquid were completely separated, but now I can see that they are melting, even if you say that they should melt later. So interesting. And I'm a little bit in doubt about the quantity of starch. It looks to me it's so much. I mean, Catherine, how much starch
It's a
did
lot. Look, this is half
500
a lot.
grams.
okay,
It's a
yes,
lot.
it's the same. I mean,
But
how can
but I think you should use a bigger bowl,
You
Elena,
can see
because now
nothing.
we're going to add the boiling liquids to this. I think you need a bigger bowl to accommodate the liquids inside, and you can mix. You have to mix both the starch and liquids. Okay, my
did you
liquid
say
is
a
back.
big bowl?
Yes, that's a good one. This does this can take the heat? Well, it won't melt.
No, I
So
mean not on the fire, not on the fire.
perfect.
Okay,
My liquids are
not
boiling.
my one is boiling. My one is boiling.
So take the boiling liquid and slowly add it to the flour. Can you see it? And then mix the water. And the starch is going to become like chewing gum.
Okay.
It's so strange.
Yes.
It's like semolino.
And this kind of chewing gum texture is also going to be inside of your pão de queijo when you bake it. But cheesy and delicious. And you know, yeah, look how it is. It's really important to mix all the flour to make all the mixture become this chewing gum like texture. So this is why a wooden spoon is good, because if you use metal spoon, the spoon also becomes warm. So you want a wooden spoon, or maybe um, a rubber spatula that they can take the heat. But the wood is better. It's more traditional. It reminds me of my grandmother making pão de queijo. This is a small batch, so imagine a big batch. My grandmother makes like 2 pão de queijo recipes with 2 kilos of tapioca starch for many hungry grandsons.
Oh, la 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 la.
And once you think that you can, it's already not so cool, not so warm anymore, I hope you wash your hands. Make sure you wash your hands. I'm gonna wash mine again because you're going to dig in with your hands. Squeeze the flour with the liquids. And this is also a part, like a secret part. You have to mix it really well. This part, you should really mix all the ingredients together to make this dough.
It's incredible the effect.
Yeah, it's like chewing gum.
It's incredible. I mean, we used to bake with wheat. That means with flour. Sorry, and the effect in your hands is completely different. Interesting.
Yeah, this is kind of a harder. It's much harder, right? And it's the
Yes,
the
it's.
texture.
I mean,
It's more like rubber, and it's hard. It's not, and you can really punch it. It's no problem to really punch it. This is the moment that you find your older grandson and say, "Come, squeeze this to me." And this is why, like the old nonas also have huge arms, very strong arms, because they're doing this pão de queijo every week. You know, like when my mother was little in the countryside, she couldn't find any wheat flour. She could only find manioca, mandioca. So all the traditional recipes for her family are manioc or corn, because this is what it really grows in Brazil. So you see now that it's kind of a dry chewing gum.
So hot?
Does yours look like this?
yes, exactly.
Not
Great.
yet.
Not yet?
Mine is so hot.
Use the spoon, use the spoon. Now, open a hole in the middle. Also, it's important to use really good eggs.
Yeah.
You want a really good eggy dough. So maybe I'll use 3 eggs. Let's see the texture if it's right. My grandmother uses a lot of eggs in her dough. So maybe I'll
Livia,
add.
may I ask you to have a look at my dough? I mean, it looks to me that it's quite good. It looks like yours one. What do you
Yeah, yeah.
think?
I think it looks good. Can you
Okay.
squeeze it in front of the camera to me so I can see the texture?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, yeah, it's good. It's good. Did you put all the liquid?
Thank you. Yeah, I put all the liquid.
Now you see that the dough is becoming like I added the eggs. When the dough should be already not so hot, so it doesn't cook the eggs, okay? You have to be
Yes.
able to really squeeze your dough with your hands before you add the egg. Now it's this, it's not completely soft. Check it out. But it's already, it's not like a liquid dough either. Okay. I should have
Wow.
taken my rings off. I'm gonna do it. And it's supposed to really stick to stick you in your hand. It's not a problem if it's sticking into your hands.
No, I mean it's like
Yeah, it's very kind of like, yeah, I think I'm gonna add one more egg.
how do you decide? Because you see it's dry.
Yeah, because my grandma's recipe is actually 3 eggs for half a kilo. But I found, because all this chemistry about the pão de queijo, I found out at my friend Carla Soares' blog. She has a blog called Outra Cozinha that is really
Yes,
awesome.
I saw it.
Yeah, I put it in the Instagram post. She's really, really intelligent, and she's like gives all the information so you can think about the recipes you're making. I love Carla. She's awesome. And in her recipe, it's only 4 eggs for 1 kilo. My grandmother is 6 to 8 eggs for 1 kilo. So I'm gonna put
Oh,
one more and see what happens.
okay. I was
I guess
thinking that
something went wrong here with my
What
dough.
happened? Can you
I
show
don't
us?
know, but the dough is doesn't soak the eggs already, and then I have the feeling it's too wet.
Too wet? Do you have
Yeah,
more flour?
yeah, I should. Ooh.
Can I
can
see
you
it?
can you show us? I mean,
No.
could be interesting to. No, you cannot show. It's parental control. It's okay. No, I mean because also my one, I mean, could look a little bit watery, but I think that we need this kind of texture.
Yeah, the thing is that it's not,
No, it
it
doesn't work.
doesn't become a dry
It
dough,
doesn't
and
work.
if you're using only the sweet kind, it's not going to become exactly like mine, but it shouldn't be liquid. Can we see it?
No, because now I put some more flour into it, and I hope it's gonna be working.
Yes, yes, Catherine, Catherine, don't give up. I mean,
Yes.
it's too liquid. Add a little bit
No, I don't.
of solid. It's okay, and then a little bit of salt, and it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
I'm gonna
Cin,
add one
cin
more
a
egg.
tutti. Cin, buon sabato.
Ching ching, Saturday food fever. Saturday, 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 it's Saturday, Saturday,
So,
Saturday.
if in the meanwhile, if someone is watching us or maybe later, I would like to remind you that we have a great dream, but it would be not only a dream. So we have a great plan. We have a plan to do a big trip, cooking all around. So let's start cook with us. let's start to support Saturday Food Fever. And maybe let's start help us with this project, sending messages, sending things, inviting us, sending us a
Yeah, and
camper or a caravan or a minivan.
if you
So
like
let's
Saturday Food
join us.
Fever, yeah, if you like Saturday Food Fever, send this link to your friends. Share this with more people so we have a bigger audience and we can reach more people and cook together as a big community. This is what we want. We want to share our recipes to the rest of the world, and we also would like to invite people to come over and cook with us. So if you like Saturday Food Fever and you want to join one of our sessions, or just like you want it to become a bigger project, support us, share, and send us a message. We're here. Yeah,
Exactly.
And we need a car.
now after I added the third egg, I think it's more like to the more like my grandmother's recipe. You know, it's
Okay.
look, yeah, it's very chewy. Did you add the egg
Yeah,
already, Kathleen, or is it just the?
I have the feeling now it's better. I added some, I have no clue, maybe 50 grams more. I see nothing, Elena. It's white, 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 white.
I think you need
It's
more. It's
Ah,
it's 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 too dry. You can add one more egg
okay.
because see, it has to be like stick to the pan. Look,
Yeah,
yes,
it's
okay.
sticky. It
My
has
one is like that one. It's
yeah.
exactly like that one. Yes.
This is just so
yes,
so
it's
sticky.
the same here. Weep,
Great.
weep.
This is it.
We got it. We got it.
Now let's add the star of the scene, the cheese. Now after we already like mix it this part very well. Everything is like you have this dough that is so sticky, so like a huge chewing gum.
Exactly like this.
Take it out of your hand somehow.
Lovely.
Chewing gum monster. But the smell is already so good. Like the cheese smells and the milk smells. Okay, let's add the cheese. You know, in ancient recipes, they would measure the recipe in plates. One plate of cheese,
Really?
1 kilo of starch. So I just put half a plate that is maybe 250 grams of cheese. This part, you don't have to mix it super well. It's not so important that because if you're mixing it too well, you're breaking the cheese pieces that are so
Okay.
delicious to find inside.
Wow, but it's amazing. Thank you, Livia. I mean, this way of making something, I mean, mixing and preparing a dough, so interesting. Also with rolla dough, I feel the same. I felt the same. I mean, it's a new way of bake.
That's right. I now have the feeling I will never get off to this cheese or this dough on my hands.
If you use a regular spoon, look, you can scrape it out of your fingers.
Wow. what a taste! What a smell!
Yeah, and sorry, you if you wanna have if your cheese is not as salty as like the Mineiro cheese, you can add more salt. This is the moment
No,
to.
I don't think I will add salt.
Yeah, mine needs a little bit salt.
And you are doing balls?
Hmm.
Are you doing balls, Olivia? I mean, with the spoon.
No, not no. We are going to make the balls with the hands.
Ah, okay.
I need more cheese to mine.
No, I think I put enough cheese. I mean, I can smell the cheese from here. And I mean, I cannot wait to see these incredibles. Wow, the queso.
Now, if you have mixed all of the ingredients, you can turn on the oven to 220 degrees.
How much? Sorry, I was so in love with the dough.
200, 220. Medium to high. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
You put the oven from medium to
How is
high.
yours happening?
You put the oven.
My
Are you
dough is
also involved?
everywhere on my hands.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a recipe that you will come out clean. Whoa, whoa.
Okay, to get dirty,
You
but
know, in the south of Brazil, sometimes they use so little cheese and so much water that the dough becomes so watery that they have like a special pão de queijo baking cheese with many holes in it. But this is not the right pão de queijo because the right pão de queijo you can make the balls with your hand. It should be the texture shouldn't be so watery. You should be able to make the balls yourself with your hands. Okay, so I'm also trying to shake out the dough of my fingers to turn on the oven.
what's with your hands, Elena? They are clean?
I already washed them. The power, the power of water, friends.
Wash your hands, kids.
Thank you.
Pandemic going on.
I mean, my dough looks. I'm so proud of my dough today. I mean, I had a shitty week, and this. Thank you, Livia. This is what exactly I was needing. Means making a dough with a perfect smell, and that during the making of it give you such a lot of satisfaction. So you made my day, you made my week, you make everything more beautiful. Thank you.
Thank
So,
you for
would you like
joining.
to see my
Awesome.
dough? I mean, I'm so proud of it. I hope you can see it.
I didn't take any pictures this time, girl. So please take pictures
Me
of your.
too. Me too. Maybe Shafak, and we want to say ciao, Shafak, took some pictures on the live. And we
Yes.
must say also ciao, Nara. Nara
Ciao,
cannot
Nana.
be here with you, but ciao, Nara.
She had everything ready to go, but she had to work. So, ciao, Nara. We hope you make pão de queijo later.
Ciao, Nara. Ciao, Shafak.
And
Now,
I mean, how you think you are going to cook to eat your sorry, pão de queijo, pão, your pão de
you
queijo. I
can,
mean,
you can just eat it. It's already delicious if you just eat it. You can add some butter, more butter to it. You open it up when it's still warm and you put the butter melts. Or you
Yeah.
put cheese inside and the cheese melts. Or you can um, you can put anything in it. There are some traditional road stops in Minas Gerais where they sell it with sausage, pork sausage inside.
Okay.
Or you can have a zucchini caponata, and you can eat it with caponata. It's something to serve when you have, a few friends. You're gonna have some wine, and you're gonna snack on something. This is a great snack. If you want to eat it in the morning or as a middle of the day snack, and to give you energy and willing to live the rest of your day with joy,
I love the cheese idea to add some
you can take
more.
to work. You can bake a few of them and take them to work and munch on them, snack on them in the afternoon.
so I was thinking, even if fish and cheese is something, fish and cheese, I cannot think about fish and cheese, but right now I thought that I did zuppa di pesce. It means that while we were waiting for Livia, I was cooking some fish. So my idea for tonight, it was to use the pão de queijo to do this fish soup. I mean fish soup and pão de queijo.
Okay. Sounds
Yeah, like a
interesting.
bread to the side. It could be good,
Yeah.
yes. It's a really a joker card, in your kitchen. You can have these balls frozen. Now it's all ready. I'm gonna turn on the oven, and if you want to freeze some of your balls,
So in case we want to freeze the balls, is that time the time to do it?
so if I'm gonna use a little bit of butter in my hands to make the roll, so to prevent the balls from sticking. But you don't need to put to butter your pan or anything, because it has already a lot of fat in the dough.
Okay.
You don't need to make it like to butter it up to make it work. If you want to freeze, you can put them all together, like really one to close to the other in one baking sheet, and just take them to the freezer. Once they're frozen, you can take a big bag and fill it and just have it in a bag or in a ice cream box and have it in your freezer. Perfect. Now, if you're baking them now, you're going to need to give them space because they grow a little bit. When you use only the sweet starch, they don't grow as much as when you use the sour starch. So take a little dough, roll it up. I like my pão de queijos to be like this size, not so big. In the streets in Minas Gerais, you can find huge pão de queijos that are use this amount of dough, and you have one that is huge, and then you just put the sausage
Yeah.
and go like a sandwich and snack them. Um, But for pão de queijo at home, I like them to be smaller because then I can eat a lot of them.
Oh, yes, this is a great suggestion, Livia. Thank you. I mean, it's a great snack to eat right now that it's 7:30 in Italy, and I had a gin tonic, and I'm starving. So how long for the cook?
Maybe half an hour, 20 minutes because they are fresh. When they are frozen, it's going to take longer, maybe 30 to 40 minutes. They should be golden on the outside. Um, yeah, just a little bit golden in the outside, and take care not to make them too gold. Like if they're there for too long, they're gonna become dry.
Okay.
But they're gonna grow and they're gonna change color to a light gold, and then they're ready. Take them out,
Mm.
let them cool a little bit, and go. So if you're really hungry at now that it's 7:30, you can already bake a few of them. And while they're baking, you finish making the balls.
Yes,
So
this is what I'm doing. I mean, faster doing the first one, so I can put it in the oven, and while they are cooking, I will do the other balls.
yes, that's a great strategy.
So it is, can you repeat between 40 minutes and 1 hour?
No, no, 20 minutes to 40 minutes.
Okay,
20 to
okay.
30.
Thank you.
It's
20
much
to,
faster.
to 20 to 40.
The oven should be hot, so it's medium to
Yes.
high heat. It doesn't take a long time. Also, if you're making bigger pão de queijos, um, they're gonna take a longer time to cook, or maybe
I
that's
got
also
it. I got it. I got it.
give them 1 centimeter to 2 centimeters distance. I'm making them really tight because I am gulosa.
Now I'm going to prepare a few bowls that I'm going to freeze.
Yeah.
Catherine, how is it doing?
Now it's so much better. I put some butter in my hands and now I can roll like a professional.
Fa-la-la-la-la-la. Keep
Gonna take
rolling, rolling, rolling.
Roll, roll, roll.
yeah,
Super
because
nice.
if you're making 1 kilo of dough, then you have a lot of pão de queijo to freeze later. It's the same effort. It's gonna take the same amount of time.
Yeah.
So I like to make more when I make it because then it's something practical that I have in my freezer to eat it whenever I want. Like sometimes I arrive home, and like not arrive home, but I finish work and I'm too tired to cook something. You just bake pão de queijo and eat it with something that you have already in your kitchen, or just eat it raw, like not raw, but with anything else because it's already delicious on its own.
Put it in the freeze.
Freeze them, freeze.
And I'm doing the last piece of dough because one it's not enough. So for tonight with the fish sauce, we are going to do the second.
I hope you really like it because it's a really special recipe for me. And I
I'm
think
pretty sure.
it was a bit expensive for you guys, so I hope it's worth it.
And how much
But
costs this
because
store in your place? Because I mean, I have no clue what costs is a lot or not, but 700 grams for 10 euros are, in my opinion, expensive.
Yeah, no,
What do you?
here it costs, the euro is very expensive now. So it costs from 1 to 2 euros, 1 kilo.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a bit,
Catherine, it was the same to me. I mean, I
Yeah.
want to go to buy this tapioca flour from ethnical shop
Yeah.
because we have a lot of we have a big Brazilian community here in Bergamo, so there are a few shops that sell this tapioca flour. But it was not so easy for me because of the lockdown and
Of
everything and
course.
blah 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 blah. So I decided to go to Natura C, that is a franchising shop
Ah,
selling bio things and that kind
yeah.
of things. And I bought the same tapioca flour for the same amount. And
Okay.
then yesterday I was talking with these colleagues that is married with a Brazilian girl, and he said to me, "You have to go to the ethnical shop. This is what we call in Italy negozi etnici.
Okay.
You can buy 1 kilo of tapioca flour for €3."
Okay. I have no clue where such a
So
store is here in
I mean.
Leipzig.
But the traditional, the ethnical shop are Chinese or
Yeah.
Indians one. So I think you had Indians or Asian shops in Leipzig. So maybe you can find
No,
tapioca flour
no,
also there. Do you know?
no, I don't think so. But maybe I can ask the Mexicans. We have some Mexican
yeah.
restaurants, or yeah,
In
maybe I can ask
Mexico,
them.
actually, if you can find Colombian, in Colombia they eat more manioc. In Mexico, not
Okay.
so much. But if the Mexican shops also sell things from South America, then you can find the starch. You can even find the sour starch. I
Okay.
saw that there is a Brazilian brand that exports. For sure, if you go to a Brazilian shop, you're gonna find the ingredients from Yoki, which is a brand that exports to Europe and the United States. And Yoki has already a mixture for pão de queijo that is like it's already all the starch is mixed and even like powdered milk. So, but then if you have only the starch, it's better because you can use your own knowledge that you just learned.
I
In the
got
end,
it.
I'm
This is the last one.
from Berlin, actually.
Yeah, in Berlin for sure you're gonna find all of this because there's
Uh,
everything's in Berlin, right? Cadê essa Levou?
So I'm so
We'll make
excited about how they are going to cook. And I'm so hungry. I want
starving.
to eat something.
come to my to my Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna take my drone out. Sorry.
I'm going to eat some cheese.
Say cheese. So, last one.
Amazing pecorino di Valdorcia.
You know, Elena, you say about all these Italian cheeses, and I want to try all of them. Every time you bring a new cheese to Saturday Food Fever, and I'm like, oh my God, I want all of the cheese. I want
It's
everything.
I mean, it's one of the reason, even if, I mean, I'm a lucky person because I was born in Italy and I raised in Italy. I got the chance of tasting such a lot of different ingredients and things, and my uh, uh, my food culture is so incredible because I grew up in a place where I can have such an ingredients. So cheese, my region, my place, my area is one of the best place where to find great cheese. And there are a lot of young people working on cheese, and it's such a hard and strong job. But I'm so happy that young people are working with cheese, and I'm so happy that in the future I'm going to show you these cheeses. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope we can travel and go to all these places together and know all of these.
Yes, of
Really,
course.
I'm super
We will
looking
be in
forward
Val
for it.
d'Orcia. We will be in Val d'Orcia eating pecorino and drinking Montepulciano or a great San Gimignano. It will be beautiful, girls. It will be beautiful.
It will be. We only need to go through this damn, damn pandemic thing going on.
Exactly. But we will do it.
Yeah, we will do it.
So, I forget to put the timer on. So, how many minutes we put the pound the cake into the oven?
Maybe 5 minutes. I
Hmm.
don't know. Check how your
Eh,
pancake.
they are looking so wow. Yours, Catherine?
They are looking beautiful, and I love the smell already. And to have some warm cheese in my kitchen, the smell from warm cheese.
That's great.
It would be a great Saturday.
I guess I have a bit too much.
I'm trying to make all
What?
of the pão de queijo fit in one tray so I can bake them in just one tray.
I didn't thought about it. It could be a great idea. I mean, I decided to do two, but at the end, maybe I can collect them in only one.
Yeah, because then you don't take so much space in your freezer. And when they are frozen, you can just call it like tomorrow. You can take them all and put them in a bag. You don't need to.
Okay.
And they're gonna be good for over 1 year. I mean, you can have them there.
Ooh, it's
But
exactly
I
the
but
pandemic recipe.
yes, yes, you make with 1 kilo of starch, and you have it until like. But the thing is that when you know that you have pão de queijo in your freezer, I dare you to make them last for 1 year because after they're made, you just have to bake them. It's so easy. Maybe they will last 1 week.
So what shall we do? I mean, shall we wait with our guests? But we don't have guests right now because it's zero. Wait, or shall we say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah, let's say goodbye to everybody, and then let's talk without our 0 guests.
Our audience, sorry, it's privacy. But no, I mean, also,
Let's make a post.
Nothing. I'm not prepared.
We can wait.
Catherine, you are always prepared with it. Why today not?
Sorry for delay.
Oh, okay, it's
Cheers,
okay, it's
ladies.
Saturday.
It was such a pleasure, and I'm so excited. And yeah, thank you so much. Cheers.
Let me take a picture of us.
Cheers.
Yes, thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you
this
so
amazing.
much, Livia.
And
Thank you for
you're going to eat your pão de queijo and enjoy a little bit. Thank you for looking for the tapioca starch and finding it. And I
Yeah.
hope you appreciate it. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Thank you
See you
so
next
much. This is the
time.
power. This is the power. Sharing, looking for the things you want to have. Thank you, Livia. Thank you, everybody.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Good job.